guys, we are headed to pick up a special delivery. So I'm actually excited and nervous at the same time for what we're headed to go get. Years ago, when my wife wanted to start homesteading or gardening or whatnot, this was an addition that I was 100% totally against. I did not want, really, I didn't want any version of what we're going to pick up. And what we're going to pick up was, she had wanted to do it and I was always against it, but I think this was my idea, or at least I was the one that finally came around and was like, all right, let's do it, let's go, I'm ready. It's exciting.
Your life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to
Patiently waiting. This is what we call impatiently waiting. Are you licking the window? Maybe. Were you licking it?
No.
Oh.
I can hear something chirping.
What?
They're alive.
All of them?
I don't know about all of them, but I hear chirps. I could hear them when I came in the post office.
There's at least one.
2. Can you make...
Moving around.
They're hungry.
Poor little things. Let's get them home, get them some food and water.
Drive.
They're probably freezing cold too. I'll sacrifice my booty for you.
Thanks, babe.
Alright.
She tried to give me the Tractor Supply shipment. She handed me this big box and I was like, whoa.
Take it and run.
And then I saw Tractor Supply and I'm like, wait, I don't think this is mine. And she said, oh no, I'm glad you called that. I walked in the post office, I could hear them as soon as I opened the door. They were back there hollering.
I don't blame them. They haven't eaten in like 2 days.
Alright, so here's the update. We haven't been able to make a video just yet about our plans because of being busy, and then with postal delays, this put us back like 3 or 4 weeks from what we expected to have our baby chicks because of all of the storms in the Midwest and everything. So we weren't even sure if we were going to end up with the chicks or not, but here they are. We ordered 15 jumbo Cornish cross meat chicks. So I'm not really sure what to expect when I open this box because, again, delays. Thankfully they got here quicker than what the shipment notification said, so I'm not sure that they're all going to be alive. It sounds like there's more than one alive, so that's great news.
I think I can hear 3 chirping.
So we'll see when we get home and open up this box. But yeah, we're excited. This is a whole new adventure for us, so we're excited to take you guys along with us and show you the process.
Yeah, we eventually had it planned out. We're going to be going out of town soon in a few weeks, and we initially had it planned out that we would receive the chickens. Well, this was all before the whole ice storm in the Midwest happened and put our delays on, but we were supposed to receive the chickens and then they would have been fully grown so that we could harvest them right before we went out of town, and we wouldn't have to leave the responsibility of moving them and feeding them every day on someone else. Fortunately for our good friend, or my in-laws, so someone's gonna have to help us out. Hopefully going over to the house once or twice a day to move the chicken tractor, make sure they've got food. We're excited. This will be our first time with any kind of meat animal. So there's a little bit of nervousness there, a little bit of uncertainty. I don't know how these two are gonna handle it. I think I'll be okay.
I don't.
But we'll see. Maybe not.
I think you're gonna be
I think, honestly, by the time 9 weeks is over, after dealing with 15 messy chickens, we'll see how I feel by the time comes.
You're gonna be a little
But I don't like the brooder stage of raising chicks. It's not my favorite part. It's messy, it's stinky, and it's hands-on work several times a day. So just add that on top of the list of all the other things that are going on. But it'll definitely be a good learning experience. And this is something that, you know, as hard as it is to think about raising an animal to, you know, consume yourself, it's one of those experiences that I feel like we should do at least one time. If we're going to eat meat, I would like to, A, know where it comes from, what it's been eating, how it was raised, and B, know that I would be able to harvest this animal with a clean conscience. So I think a lot of people are quick to jump down other people's throats about raising animals and slaughtering them, or hunting, fishing, that kind of thing, but go to a grocery store and buy a package of already sliced up meat, when in actuality that animal lived a far worse life than the ones that have been raised with thoughtfulness and health and love in mind. So
yeah, I think you're right. Compassion. You know, our goal is not just to raise meat birds for the fact of having meat birds, and not think that there won't be some level of, I don't think guilt's the right word, but it's not like we're just killing without a conscience.
right.
There will be some emotion involved when it comes to that day. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, especially our first time doing it.
Right.
It'll be a challenge. It'll be exciting, and it will be rewarding all at the same time to know, like you said, that we were able to provide a life for them that is not just confined into a little box like this for
Their whole life.
and then just to turn around and get butchered. You know, these will be for the, I don't know, do you call them free range? I don't know the correct terminology. We're going to move them twice a day.
Yeah, they're pasture raised.
Pasture raised. All right.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, you could say free range because of the amount of space that they'll have per bird. It's technically free range. It's more free range than the free range that you get at the grocery store. So, but they'll be raised on fresh, new, clean grass every day. So they won't be standing in their own poop. They won't be eating, you know, recycled grass. They'll live the top-notch, best life that a chicken can, being raised for consumption.
So what are we doing now?
Alright, so we're taking each chick and dipping their beaks in the water. Because when they're first born, these chicks haven't had any water or anything to eat. So after they were born, they absorbed their sac from the egg, and that's what has held them over for these couple of days inside the box. So we're going to take each one, introduce them to the water by sticking their little beak in. And once they realize it's there, you can see they all start going for it. So it's very important to get them water right away because it's been a couple days without any water or nutrition. So the plan is to actually separate these half and half into 2 different brooders. So we'll have 2 separate water and food containers per brooder, so they're not all trampling on top of each other like this. But for today, we're just gonna let them kind of chill out and de-stress a little bit because they've had a long journey the past 2 or 3 days. So we're gonna let them chill out a minute, get some drink, get some food, warm up under this lamp. That's another thing about fresh baby chicks. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, they need to be kept at around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So I seriously doubt that they were able to stay at that temperature during travel. So this heat lamp is crucial to them right now. You can tell that they're starting to calm down. Once they can come in here and chill out a little bit, we'll rearrange them. Like I said, we weren't really sure on the timing if we were actually going to get any. If they came in, would they even be alive? So we've kind of been pushing things off to the last minute, but here they are, and
seem to all be alive and healthy.
yeah, everybody looks good. So thank you to Cackle Hatchery for producing healthy chicks and getting them here in as timely of a manner as they could. I know that it wasn't in their hands, so will we order from a hatchery again in the future?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. As of right now, I'm pleased because I know that, you know, the delays weren't at any fault of the hatchery. But that's the one downfall, is that we don't know what the Postal Service is going to do and, you know, what the weather may do. So ordering local might be a better option for the future. So we'll see. So we'll give you guys a quick rundown of our very simple, easy, cost-effective brooder setup. All we do is go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and buy these 50-gallon Rubbermaid containers that come with a lid. These are the heavy-duty containers. And then what we do is we cut out the middle of these lids here, as we've done on this box, and we just attach some hardware cloth with zip ties all the way around. So we drill little holes and just run the zip ties around. So we haven't got to do that on this lid just yet, but we will today probably. So we have our totes, and I like to stick something underneath it whenever it's really cold out. So I have boogie boards up underneath there. You can use a piece of foam, or you don't even have to put anything under it. You can put an extra layer of bedding if you want to help insulate the bottom a little bit better. But I slip boogie boards under there to act as a barrier between the concrete floor and the cold that's on it. And then the next thing we do is fill it with our wood shavings. These are actually wood flakes, so these are a little bit bigger than the flakes, or I'm sorry, than the shavings. The shavings are more like this, and then the flakes are wider like this. I like the bigger pieces. The chicks don't seem to get them stuck to them as easily.
Those are the shavings.
That's what I said. Well, flakes is what they're called.
Oh.
So we just fill the bottom of the box about 3 inches thick with the flakes. And then we add our water and food containers. This is the food container. And we use a chick starter feed, which you should. You should always do a chick starter feed until they're closer to laying age. These chickens will probably switch to more of a production grade of food when they move outside. So we'll keep them on chick feed while they're in the brooder, and then once we move them outside, we'll put them on a higher protein formula. So we have their food and their water containers that we put inside. I like to pick them up off of the shavings. Otherwise they start running through the food and water and it'll get dirty. They'll poop inside of it and it just gets nasty. So I like to put like a bowl or something to kind of build it up off the shavings. And then I also provide chick grit. So all chickens need some sort of grit. It helps to break down their food because they don't have teeth. This kind of helps act as like a garbage disposal inside of their crop area. But the chick grit specifically is broken down even smaller so that it's easier for baby chicks to eat and to digest. And it also will help prevent pasty butt, which is a whole nother lesson. If we come across that, we'll give a lesson on that. And then probably most importantly, you're gonna wanna have some type of heat source. There are different opinions on what people use. We've always used a heat lamp and have been okay. I know that there's a lot of fire hazards with heat lamps, but we take extra precautions. One being that we secure our heat lamps to the source that it's hanging on. We don't have it up yet, but we will zip tie this clamp so that this won't fall off onto the chicks. And then also the lid helps to prevent, if for some reason a light bulb shatters or something, that it will catch pieces. And so far so good. We haven't had any issues with any kind of malfunction with these lights. You can use heat plates or other options, but this is what we use. And then you can see our well-designed structures here to hold our lamps up. We just use ladders, and then we have a flagpole that stretches from one to the other that we clamp our lights up to. And like I said, we will zip tie them in place so that they won't fall off. But this is about the perfect height for the light. You'll notice your chicks, if they're really noisy running around, which right now they're brand new, so they're still trying to warm up from the box, but there's ways that you can tell if your light is close enough or too far, if they're getting enough heat or not. Sticking a thermometer inside of your brooder will help. And like I said, you want to keep it around 90 degrees for the first 2 or 3 weeks. But eventually this brooder will heat up for them and they'll settle down and calm down. If you notice that they are all huddled together searching for heat, you need to move your lamp closer. And if they're all spreading out away from the heat source, that means that your lamp is too close and it's too hot. So they should be kind of roaming around like what they're doing right now, not all clustered together. That gives you the notice that they're doing okay. So I'm gonna finish putting this lamp together, secure it to our ladder, get the second brooder in place, and move about half of our chickens to the other brooder and let them continue to settle in. Okay, so our meat bird chicks are all set up and ready. They're gonna stay inside in the brooder for probably about 2-3 weeks, until they fully feather out, which this breed doesn't completely feather out, but feather out enough to where we can move them outside and not have to worry about their body temperature. So in the next few weeks, it should start warming up nicely here and we can move them out to the tractor. So stay tuned for the video on our chicken tractor and Robert's custom build.
Yeah, I saw another YouTuber, Stony Ridge Farmer. I just got a glimpse of his chicken tractors, made them out of PVC. So I just kind of copied his design and added a little bit of my own ingenuity to it. I think they're gonna work out pretty well. I tried to keep it light enough so that she can move it, so that my wife can move it, so that any of us can move it, but still heavy enough so that any kind of predators couldn't dig underneath it too easily. But yeah, we're excited to show you that design, and I'm almost finished up with it. Once I'm finished up with it, I'll give you a walk around of it, and then I'll try to put together a build list so that you guys could mimic it if you want to.
Yep, so for now we're gonna let these chicks just rest and de-stress after traveling through the US Postal Service for the past 3 days, and we are going to go relax and warm up ourselves. So we will see you guys on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.